do is called Conversation with the CEO. It's another edition of Conversation with a CEO. We have a great guest here today. I'm excited about him because I just love following people like this. I'm inspired by someone who has the type of grit and the ability to take nothing and turn it into something. Matter of fact, he took back in 2006, he only had $500 on a credit card. He took that and turned it into a business called The Fresh Diet, turned it into a $30 million annual revenue business, which was acquired by a public company back in 2014. And when I say he did it with nothing. He was turned down for loans and whatever the case may be, didn't let that discourage him. And here he is today. He now is the CEO of a great company that I believe a lot of people are going to be putting their eyes on really soon, Homebistro, a gourmet frozen meal delivery. Welcome to the program. Put your hands together for Zalmi Duchman. What's happening there, sir?
Hey, man, how you doing? Thanks for that really great introduction, and I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you. I think we can learn a lot from you. You've got just a history of just overcoming challenges that a lot of people quit on. Like if somebody knocked them out, they quit. Not you. You make it happen anyway, man. So we want to learn as much as we can while we have you here with us.
So I started my first business about 15 years ago, 25 years old. I had been working for a few different companies, always had the entrepreneur spirit. And, I thought that a meal delivery business would be something that, would have a very bright future. Back in 2006, there really wasn't the concept. Today there's so many, right? Everybody knows Blue Apron and all these other, meal delivery businesses. There was one called Freshly that just sold for $1 billion to Nestle. So now it's pretty common. But back then, here in Miami, where I grew up, there was nothing. I read about one in New York, I read about one in LA. So really just on a whim, I was sitting at my desk at my day job, and I just didn't even think about it. I didn't do any market research. I didn't do any business planning. I just said, I'm doing this, and I picked the start date. And like you said, I just spent $500 on my credit card for some Google advertising. And I delivered breakfast, lunch, and dinner to my first 3 customers on January 1st, 2006. And the rest is history.
Man, that is amazing, man. I always wonder about this, who you surround yourself with matters in times like these. What type of friends you had at that time? Because, most friends will talk you out of that.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually started the business because of a friend. I had a really close friend who went to chef school, and he was a Cordon Bleu graduate. And the idea came just from conversation with him. So I think when I called him up, I said, dude, you got to move here. We're starting this. He's like, I'm not moving. Are you crazy? And about a month later, I had 10 customers, and I convinced them to move down. But I agree 100%. Today, I definitely surround myself with really successful entrepreneurs, people that obviously I get along with, but really that I look up to. One in specific, I have a friend by the name of David Schottenstein, who's an extremely successful entrepreneur. And, I feel that you always want to have people around you. You never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. A lot of successful CEOs such as yourself always mention mentors. Why is it such a challenge for people to get mentorship? Because sometimes I run into people, they say, well, I get a mentor, but I have a hard time getting mentors. So what advice would you give to someone who says they tried and it just doesn't work for them?
Yeah, listen, it's definitely difficult, right? People are just not rushing to give their time, and they need to be motivated to help people. I mean, that's just the way it is, and once in a while you'll find someone. I think it's really just about persistence. I think that if you find someone, usually they will say, yeah, I'll help you. And then, people feel like they're going to run after them. They're not going to run after you. You got to run after them. They have to see that you really want it. They have to see that you really would like their help. And, if you're persistent without being overly annoying, I feel that that's a trait that's extremely important when it comes to entrepreneurship in general.
Okay, I like that. Now let's just talk about this amazing company. So let me give you my backstory on even how I found out about you. I was I was visiting someone who I didn't know who we were visiting, but I was with someone who was visiting someone who was I'm in Sarasota, Florida. And we ended up over to a house and they offered us a meal, right? We're eating the meal and I'm like, man, this is delicious. Like, who cooked this? You know? And they said, well, I didn't cook it. Says she ordered it. I said, ordered it? What are you talking about? You never heard of Homebistro? It's like, yeah, but I was like, well, I thought you cooked. This is delicious. Anyway, I immediately looked you up. And I said, wow, no, hold on a minute here. This is a serious company here. Let me go find out a little bit more. And that's how I found out about your show. She cooked the meal. Presented the meal to us. We thought she cooked it.
Very cool.
And it was delicious, by the way. So
thank you.
that's
That's
how
great
we
to
know
hear.
about you. So
Very
you're picking up. Yeah, you're picking up. You're picking up. What customer are you picking up? Is it the person who likes to eat out at fine restaurants quite a bit, but just can't do it all the time, and they prefer to have it at the house, especially since the pandemic? Is that the market?
Yeah, so it's very interesting, right? Because my previous company was very different. And if you go out there and you look at all the meal delivery businesses, most of them are diet related. Most of them are fitness related. Most of them are subscription when, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With this business, and the reason that we're so excited about it is we hit a very different target market. We are really for now, we're an a la carte dinner replacement. We're much more high end, much more gourmet. So exactly like you said, people feel that somebody cooked this at home if they didn't know, and they just served it on a plate. So for us, we got a much older demographic, probably, between 40s and 70 years old. A lot of people, their parents don't have options today, right? Forget COVID. Obviously, COVID changed everything. COVID, made a business like ours extremely, more relevant because, you couldn't go to a restaurant, you couldn't go anywhere. But even pre-COVID, you have elderly parents. Unless they're on Meals on Wheels, what are they going to do? What are they going to do every night? Dinner is hard. Uber Eats is expensive. It takes time. There's a lot of decisions you have to make. So for us, we focus on that niche, which is higher end. Definitely more expensive than a lot of the other things you'll find out there. But that's because it's much higher quality. It's much better, and it's not every day. It's not something that you're doing every single day. It's once in a while, although we have a lot of customers that do it a lot. And again, once the pandemic hit, that changed everything, and it did make it an every night kind of business. So for me, I'm very excited about this business. With the previous business, I had really big success, but that was private. This is actually a publicly traded company, and we really are the only one that is public in this space, in the meal delivery space. We're not a meal kit, right? We're not like a Blue Apron, which is public. Blue Apron is very different. You have a lot of work to do with Blue Apron. Blue Apron is not convenient. Blue Apron is not something that people make their lives easier. It actually makes their lives a lot more difficult. Yeah. When I say Blue Apron, I don't mean Blue Apron. I mean any type of meal kit. With ours, this is heat and eat, and that is just a game changer. Eat and eat.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. It is absolutely delicious. And I'm telling you, if you have not tried it, you need to at least just take a chance and order it for yourself. See for yourself. You'd be surprised. And for some of you ladies that want to fool a man, and get him, maybe you didn't really cook, but you want, you could get away with it. I promise you. All right. So the celebrity chef thing, you got Kat Cora from Iron Chef. So talk to, how did that happen?
Yeah, that's really what our focus is right now. Our focus is bringing, like we said, high quality recipes, and the best way to do that is to get the top chefs in the country, even the famous ones, Michelin stars, to get involved, create us recipes. So for me, I've always been really, really good, with PR and with celebrities. If you look at my previous business, we had a lot of success with celebrities, but here, I identified a few different celebrity chefs. We started with Kat Cora because for us, we thought that was like our best demographic. She's been around for a very long time. She's probably one of the most famous female chefs out there, definitely in the top 10. We signed her up, we brought her on board, and we kicked it off with her. But we have a lot of celebrity chefs in the pipeline right now. We'll probably announce, in the next day or two, another celebrity chef that we're getting ready to sign. and we have a few more coming, and then we're about to launch, which we've already announced, a recipe aligned with Chef Dana Falk. She has a company called Hungry Fan, so these recipes are going to be more of like a game day, different type of cuisine focus. Her father was Michael Jordan's sports agent, so she grew up all around the sports players. So we're excited about that one as well.
Let me ask you this now. In my world, we have these what we call these chefs that kind of travel around, and they work with NBA players, NFL players, and cook for them, and they have some really great meals. Will you be locating people like that they don't necessarily have a business, but they personally cook for some of the top NBA players and those kind of things? Because there's a lot of that out there. Is that something you'll be doing?
Yeah, I think, listen, for us, we want to obviously start, and we want to build a platform. So we're definitely going to start with the A-listers, and eventually work our way to really allow any chef to come on and create some create some recipes, and then we'll fulfill it for them. So it could be a really good revenue driver down the line for anyone that has a following, right? I mean, if you're on Instagram, you have a following, and you potentially want to start selling some meals, but you don't have a nationwide footprint. You're just this local chef. That's definitely something that we're looking at. But that's down the line. First we obviously want to make it a lot more appealing to the larger crowds out there, and eventually we plan to expand that.
Okay. For some people who are looking to invest in you in a long-term way, what are some of the things that will assure them that this is an absolute great investment in terms of why they should go ahead and say, okay, I'm with you. I'm gonna put my life savings in here.
Listen, the stock market is a funny place, right? Obviously, I could only speak about what's public out there, and that's how it works when it comes to stock market. So whatever's public, do your research, read about it, and research me. I mean, I have proven success in this industry. I've actually written for Forbes.com for a few years. I was a thought leader in the industry. I've done investing myself. I've lost some money in investment. So I've been on all sides of it. But you just have to really bet on the jockey usually, and not the horse. I feel like the horse is great. We're in a great industry, but at the end of the day, you're betting on me. So just do your research about me, see what I've done in my career. And, I wouldn't invest my life savings. I wouldn't invest everything. But, as we say in Hebrew, you can always throw some shekels at it and roll the dice.
I'm telling you, man. I just, like I said, I'm with you. Bet on you. Looking at what some of the things you do, you're able to overcome a lot of odds, and you're very creative. And those are the things. Even this concept, gourmet meal prep, in such a way, and just me experience it by accident, it just kind of it lets me know that that's who you are and your ability to pull that off. So I'm looking forward to what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. For people who want to just test it, check it out, how do they find you? Well, how can they make an order right now?
Just go to www.homebistro.com, and we ship nationwide.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Can they get it in the same day, or does it take a little bit?
We overnight all of the meals. So right now we only ship on Mondays and Thursdays. So, we'll probably start shipping every day down the line. But right now that's what we're doing. So, it depends on when you order. But everything is shipped overnight.
Everything shipped overnight. Okay, I appreciate that. Listen, we got a lot of young people listening to us, and they like to, get some advice from you as a CEO. Maybe they want to be one. What would you say to young people if they try to become CEOs of a company as well?
I would say you really just need to act. A lot of people spend a lot of time thinking and talking and not doing. And, with me, I started my business because I just did it. I just, I didn't think about it too much. And a lot of people get discouraged when they do too much research and they take too much time to make decisions. So you need to be somebody that just really acts. You just got to do it. Like Nike said, it's extremely important when it comes to entrepreneurship. And you need to fail fast. Everyone's going to fail. Everyone's going to make mistakes. You just have to learn how to fail very, very fast and move on and never look back.
And what do you get who do you get your inspiration from? Like some people that you admire?
I'm actually, most of my inspiration comes from my rabbinical leader, who was a rabbi by the name of Menachem Mendel Schneerson, and he actually passed away a long time ago in 1994 when I was about 14 years old. But he was someone that was all about action. And funny enough, I've taken his Jewish teachings and really interpreted it into my business life. And I've written about it. You can check it out on Forbes.com. And just Google Rebbe, which is Rebbe, and you'll find the article.
All right. Well, Zalmi, I sure appreciate you for your time. I know you gotta go, but we're gonna have to get you. We got to get you back, man, because I want to really get. I want to dig into you, man. I need at least 35 minutes, man, because you got a lot to share.
You got it. Anytime. We'll come back.
All right. He's the CEO of Homebistro. You gotta check it out. I'm telling you, it's, in my opinion, it's just mine. I'm not telling you where to invest, what to do. This company is going to surprise a lot of people. It is the real deal. All right. See it for yourself. Anyway, it wraps up this edition of Conversation with a CEO. Remember, when you're not growing, you're dying. So continue to grow. Keep learning. Try to get as much information as you can.